Hello everyone and welcome to this Scorpio inspired mid-June reading. Thank you so much for being here and for being with me. We're gonna look at a situation, some inspiration, maybe some soft guidance at this time with the inspiration of the Zodiac of Scorpio and the symbolism of Western astrology and the tarot cards. I am not an astrologer, I am not a fortune teller. I merely work with the cards to get some insight, to maybe help us self-reflect and help us get closer to our wishes and dreams and manifestations and to our best life. So let's look at what's going on. In the background, you might hear some music. I'm not sure if you can hear it through the microphone, but I live in the city center of Vienna, and it's a funny story. There is people constantly playing music, you know, so it's just like on the street. And actually, a friend of mine who is playing the saxophone, who is a really good jazz musician, he's playing on the street right now with his brass band, and they are doing like pop songs. And now they just started playing Thriller by Michael Jackson, and I was like, this is perfect to do a Scorpio reading, maybe. So yeah, let's see what wants to come out and what we want to talk about at this time. So if you haven't seen, there is, I think, 6 June readings already up on my channel. You can go check out my channel and of course see these readings that I'm doing live these days also on my channel and watch them later on. Okay, first card. The Princess of Cups. Oh, that's such a cute card. So first part of the reading, just for the people who haven't been here, is a general energy. Second part of the reading, I will go into a relationship dynamic. Princess of Cups, that is already a water sign and already talking in a sense also about Scorpio. The princesses are always bringing change because they are always talking about the earth element. And in this case, it's a combination of earth and water. So we do have an actual change happening and seeing and feeling on an emotional level. So we are open to growth, we are open to receiving, we are open to learning, and we are open to really an emotional experience, a new experience. We might be really in a position where we open our heart up again, where we really open for the growth, open for learning. So that's what the princesses do. And she's very, very giving at the same time. As you can see, she's really offering her love, offering this shell with a tortoise in it. The lotus is flying. So there is a lot of symbolism going on that is talking about really opening up your heart and being of service also, and being receptive at the same time. So she's said by Crowley, for example, as one of the best assistants, you know, a maiden also. But she is also very, very young, very, very fresh energy, and she really brings a lot of love and gentleness into a situation. So we can really go deep within, open ourselves up to learning and open ourselves up to receiving and offering. This can of course be a romantic energy as well. Doesn't have to be though, but it's a wonderful card for really letting yourself experience all the emotional lessons that are coming in and being open and receptive and young-spirited about it. Okay, we're coming out of, the Star card. Wow, that's very powerful. The Star card is coming out a lot these days, which I love and appreciate. It's also maybe a sign or maybe inspiration to understand that we are at the right place at the right time, that we are working and co-creating with the universe, that we are exactly at the place we are supposed to be at, and that we can fully show ourselves also in our vulnerability. So this combination is a lot, I feel like, about emotional openness and vulnerability and allowing yourself really to be open to what's coming towards you to help you grow emotionally, and also understanding that it's all part of the big plan or bigger plan, which is the Star card. The Star card, we see this woman which is actually a representation of the goddess of Nuit. We see her sitting here, co-creating with the universe, the globe being behind her, which is a symbol, or which is actually the planet Earth, and she's co-creating with the star of Venus, with the star of Babylon. So there's 2 stars also on this card if you look a little closer. Very strong symbolism in this card, and it's a major arcana. So we actually understand at this time that we are at the right place, and we're open to receiving this emotional change, this new energy, this fresh energy that the princesses with their young spirit also bring. So what can we move into with this combination? 3 of Cups, wow. Scorpio, this is very powerful on an emotional level. On an emotional level, it seems like you're really opening up to abundance. The 3 of Cups is called abundance in the Crowley deck. This is the German version. That's why it's saying German words here on the bottom. But this is a card of feeling open, feeling free, feeling light. Also understanding the contrast, as I like to say, between the dark and the light, because here we also have the tale of Persephone coming in the symbolism of the pomegranate, which are the seeds of these cups. So Persephone, for those who don't know, is the Greek actually daughter of the goddess Demeter, going into the underworld, being kind of kidnapped by Hades, the god of the underworld, and she had to stay there for 4 months, a year, and then when she came back out, that was kind of the deal. Then she initiated the springtime and the lightness and the openness. So this card is really also telling us, like, we have to appreciate the contrast of the darker times, of the maybe colder times, to be able to also appreciate the light times, the fun times, the open times, the abundant times, the emotionally abundant times. This is a card of love. This is a card of sharing love, and it's a card of sharing love also with close ones, not necessarily romantically speaking, but with this Princess of Cups, we just have a lot of romantic energy when it comes to also romanticizing things, romanticizing our lives, romanticizing our experience. And it seems like also we are very much in a with the 2 of Wands on the bottom of the deck, very much in an energy where we kind of have a grip on things. The 2 of Wands is called Dominion. It's a card of really having a grip, having control over a situation, having control over the now. I like to say that this is a card of having control over the now and being able to act accordingly, or not necessarily accordingly, being able to go into action and to establish action in every moment, and also to follow our will, because the Wands, they do speak about the will, they do speak about willpower and forward movement, activity, action. So this is very, very, very powerful. And it seems like you're in a great place. We can really work with these energies very, very well. And it's a very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place to really receive and open up emotionally. Amazing. So let's see how this can be maybe influencing our relationships. This is you and another person. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be romantic, of course. And we will see which dynamic is shown to us through the cards. So this other person, there's a lot of love going on. I love this. Of course, I love it. This other person. Okay, the World in the reverse. I will wait for some context. We are the 9 of Swords, huh? Well, with all this energy that you're in right now within yourself, it's kind of surprising that there's a 9 of Swords coming in and kind of being irritating to this whole reading, because the 9 of Swords is a very intense card of anxiety, maybe of worrying too much, maybe of our mind going into really extreme places. It can be paranoia, it can be that feeling that we cannot really control our thoughts and have strong anxiety about a situation. Maybe you do have strong anxiety about a situation, even though you know you're coming from a place of love. And at the same time, you feel like there is a lot of, everything feels right and it's the way it's supposed to be. But at the same time, there's a lot of anxiety going on, maybe with a connection, and with a connection where you can tell that some person is still stuck in a moment of really closing out a really big chapter in their lives. I wouldn't even say chapter with the world card, because it's more like a book, you know, it's more like a book that you're really finishing, or a movie that is over, or a really huge life phase that somebody's closing out, a version of themselves that they're having a hard time leaving. And maybe this is really giving you anxiety at this time, or that somebody has a hard time letting go. Maybe you're also in a situation where you really want to open yourself up to new experiences, here with the Princess of Cups, and somebody is just clinging on. With the World in the reverse, we can just also hold on for dear life to an old version of ourselves, to an old experience, and we're having a hard time really stepping through this portal into this new way of living and experiencing ourselves. So this, of course, we can feel that, and this can give us a lot of anxiety, or we can just energetically feel it. Maybe you want to be a little careful with the Nine of Swords. We often have a problem that we speak too harshly, or we let out every thought with no filter, even if it's the craziest anxious thought that we actually know it's not the actual truth, or it's a very cruel truth or a very gruesome truth. So we want to make sure that we don't harm ourselves with our thoughts and harm anybody else with our thoughts. So this is a little difficult here with the Nine of Swords, I have to say. But let's see how this is also mirroring, how you're mirroring each other, what is also connecting you in a sense. We do have a Scorpio symbolism also. All right, the Magician in the reverse. We do have a Scorpio symbolism also in this card, with this eagle. Eagle is also here a symbol of Scorpio. So you're part of this transition of this person maybe, and it's kind of, there's a stuck energy, and it brings out the worst thoughts in you maybe also. It could bring out the worst thoughts within ourselves. And with the Magician in the reverse, we do have some energy where there's a belief maybe that we cannot make something happen with a person, or things are not supposed to move forward, or we don't know how to act. And it can bring, we have to be very careful with the Magician in the reverse. And I'm saying again, it's mirroring each other. It's not just the energy of the other person, it's mirroring, that we get into a little bit of a manipulative energy, that we kind of want to make something happen with weird tactics, you know, or with sort of scamming a person into something, or we might feel like the same way. So this is what's mirroring this situation here. There is a hard time of getting out of that stuck energy and anxious energy. At the same time, we do have the Knight of Wands in the reverse, so there could be a lot of attraction towards this person at the same time, or a lot of mutual willpower to make this happen, to move forward, a lot of playful energy as well, a lot of active and exciting energy as well. And this excitement can often switch into this anxiousness. That is not a surprise to me, because the Knight of Wands, he's a very motivated, forward-moving, excited, and agitated is the wrong word, but very motivated guy who really wants to make things happen and wants to move forward, and has a lot of fire and has a lot of also life force and energy. And if we are having, and I think this is your position here, that you have this and you kind of want something to happen really badly, but at the same time there is just maybe not enough patience, or maybe old anxiety somewhere stuck in your system, because this Nine of Swords really brings out more like old stuck things that we haven't processed maybe, or where our mind goes overboard. We really want to make sure with the Nine of Swords that we are giving ourselves a lot of peace as much as possible, a lot of quiet, do things, maybe movement is good often to get that extreme mental motor, I want to say, a little down and a little calmer. Because with the with the Knight of Wands, we also have a good card for, you know, being active, exercising, being a little more outgoing, maybe really do some sports, do some more intense exercise, because there needs to be some anxiety burned down, I feel like, in this situation. I think it just right now needs to be looked at that we don't move out of a place of trust that we've established. So we've established this place of trust here with the Star card, and that we keep being open to the experience, and that we don't necessarily get too attached to the experience and to the anxiety and the thoughts that this experience is bringing up, because we can learn a lot from this situation here with the Princess of Cups. So yeah, let's get one more oracle card. Oh, make a wish. That's a nice one. I love it. Make a wish and expect the best. So maybe it's really tapping more into our wishes and hopes and trusting the universe at the same time with the Star card, and expecting the best to happen, expecting the best outcome, and staying in that wishful thinking, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I think the problem is more like getting into a wishful feeling, getting into the feeling that we know we are taken care of, and that the things that are happening at this time are really for our highest good and for our highest development and growth. So yeah, make a wish and hope for the best and expect the best. Thank you so much for being here, Scorpio, and Scorpio identifying people, and I will continue doing a Sagittarius reading right now, so stay on the channel and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye. Oh, and check out the description box and subscribe and like and comment, of course. So I'll see you soon, and goodbye.